Last week at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Andrew Williams got his first driver win since 2023. Here tonight is 25 laps around one of the best mile and a halves on the lot and in real life. It is the South Florida 150 at Homestead-Miami Speedway underneath the lights as it is Sprint Series Night in America for race 8 of the season. Hello everyone, it is Nathan Safety here and welcome to Homestead-Miami Speedway underneath the lights, and you're in for a fun one without a shadow of a doubt. And it's going to see what ends up happening here tonight with the multi-group racing. Might have to watch out for the Homestead stripe, and of course the big thing. Not only did Andrew Williams win for the first time since 2023 last week, but the point leader of unable to not sign up for Homestead, so we are guaranteed a new points leader here tonight. And we got Lodovit back up here in the booth for the first time in a few weeks. Welcome to Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Hello.
So obviously the big thing is the point leader to not sign up, but before we get to that, Homestead is a very fast, but also very technical mile and a half. These guys will slow down in the corners a lot, multi-grooves, mostly the bottom, but outside can challenge sometimes. But the key thing that's unique to this track on this channel is the Homestead stripe. Sometimes these guys get out of the groove and smack the wall off turn 2 and turn 4. How do you think things will work out for race 8 of the season?
Well, it's gonna be a challenge for these drivers, but I mean, most of the field is today has at least 5 races ran this season. So at this point, I feel like they have a bit of experience. They probably, let's hope they're able to keep it relatively clean. Homestead can sometimes be a bit of a place where you get a lot of contact, if not wrecks. But yeah, I believe we could get a good race. But hey, maybe with some of these drivers in the championship battle with that opportunity, a lot of them are starting on the outside. So they're gonna be really keen on getting to the inside as quickly, not only because that's the preferred line here, but also because it's I mean, if you get out of groove on the outside, you hit that wall, so you lose a lot of time and you don't have a great result, and you don't really want to have a terrible result here when you're yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Homestead is a very fun mile and a half, and like you said, a lot of those championship drivers start on the outside lane, but one of them starts on the inside lane and is on the pole of Corey Case. He's been on a roll as of late. Could have won 2 or 3 races in a row, but only has 1. And alongside him is Andrew Williams. He's still in the thick of this championship battle, but with how tight the points are, the top 6 in points were all separated by 8 points, and then Hernandez is 18 bat, and the top 10 are all separated by 27. With the point leader of Aaron Abel not being in the field here tonight, how do you think that changes the dynamic of 2nd through 6th, knowing that, hey, there's a chance that we could leave here as the point leader here tonight?
It changes a bit. We're early in the season, and I don't think people can count out Aaron Abel, because yes, he won't be the point leader after this race, but I mean, you see Anthony Hernandez, he only has 6 races run, he's 7th at point, so it's kind of a big deal. You don't want to screw up here. That would be awful. But I don't think any of these drivers are thinking we need to push 100%, because we're just so early in the season. It kind of doesn't make sense to try to push as much as you would push on, let's say, race 30. So yeah, maybe they're going to push a little bit more. The drivers on the outside, as I said, are going to try to get to the inside, but otherwise, I think we're going to see some guys try to keep it safe. It's a strictly point series. You don't need to push all the time, get that win, qualify in the playoffs. That isn't there, so yeah.
It's going to be interesting what ends up happening. And Abel is the points leader, but won't be leading tonight. Campbell Mush is 3 points behind. Corey Case is 6 points behind. Hallie Anderson Jr. is in 4th, -7. Chase McClure, -8. And Williams, last week's winner, finally broke through in victory lane, is also -8. Anthony Hernandez is -18. BB Ruiz is -25. Alexander Lowe, -26. And then Matt Blatt is -27. And time to go through the fields here. Corey Case is on the pole in the number 99. And Aaron Williams in the number 98 this week. We have the number 87 of Alexander Lowe and the 64. That is BB Ruiz. And the number 52 is Troy Smith. He blew up last week, but he did set a fast time. So he set himself right here tonight. And alongside is the number 81 of Michael Lewis. In the number 50, we got Chase McClure and the 39 of Campbell Mosh. Number 13 of Zane Davison and the number 1 of Nathan Fayen. The number 96 of Stanley Camara. And the 37, it has been unable all season, but tonight it is Samet Oskin. And then the number 90 is Matthew Hall. And the number 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr. The number 57, that is Nathan Adjabouye. And the number 69 of Matt Blatt. The number 93 of Garrett Sandowska. And the number 82 of Carson Miller. And then in the number 97, the last row that returned from last week of J.L. Wilperton. And then in the 05, welcome back Joshua Neely. And then number 3, welcome back Vinny Scholes. And then these last 3 dollars are brand new for this season. The number 4 of Dylan Standeven. The 02 is Carlson Sanders. And then the number 88 is Kyle Craven here tonight. 25 laps on top. It is a sprint race for the South Florida 150. I'm going to put you on the spot, Ludovit. Who do you think will win in Miami?
Well, I think it's going to be a driver who has not ran every race. He has been good in the 4 races he's ran so far this year. I'm thinking it's going to be Zayden Davidson at number 13 for Titan Fury. Starting 9th, I like that. He had good results in the 4 races he ran, a top 5, 2 top 10s. So I think he can get it done here.
Not bad pit. Zane Davis has been pretty strong in the 4 races he's done so far. And who knows, if he keeps on signing up, maybe he can be in the top 5 in points sooner than later. All the way at race 8 of the season, but we still have quite a few races to go. 31 races, but kind of crazy that we're already at race 8. Corey Case will lead us to the green. And it's going to be interesting of what Andrew Williams can do. He's been strong all season. Got that first win since 2023 last week. And he starts second with that fast lap. So he has a chance of maybe going 2 in a row and joining a list that only one other driver who starts still here tonight of Alexander Lowe. It is Sprint Series Night in America at Homestead-Miami Speedway for the 8th time of the 2025 season. Pace car will dive down onto pit road. And Corey Case and Andrew Williams will lead us to the green. We have green flag racing for the South Florida 150 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Oh boy, how about this 4 wide?
Oh no.
Off of turn number 4 already. Corey Case is going to get a Darlington stripe. So, little Campbell Mosh. Number 1 will be led by the number 87 of Alexander Lowe. But look at the start, 3 and 4 wide already at Homestead.
Man, and Corey Case showcased exactly what you don't want to do here. Is just come in with a bit too much speed in turn 1 and 2 or turn 3 and 4, and then just slid up the racetrack, go to the outside, get stuck on the outside, because you're always stuck on the outside when you're
Oh,
on the outside.
they're
Oh no!
It's a
That's my
64. But he's going to save it.
Are we green?
No, we are under yellow.
Oh no. Oh.
And for the first time in quite a few races, we are under caution in the Herr Sprint Series. Whew. And it would
That's
be
unfortunate for me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Luckily, I believe the 64 mostly just spun around and didn't hit anything. The 50 of Chase McClure, fifth in points, won the race back to the line, running on the pace car. How about Zane Davidson in 2 laps, he went from basically ninth to second. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. The start might be a little bit chaotic, and it definitely was there for the first caution in quite a few races in the Herr Sprint Series. 64 doesn't look like has any damage really for BP Ruiz, maybe just a smidge. And now that might be exactly what these guys wanted to see. A single file restart after that chaotic start. Wow.
Well, that's gonna calm them down because that was very aggressive at the start, way too much aggressive. They didn't need to be that aggressive. I will say, for the drivers who had to slam on the brakes, not only the driver who spun around, but the drivers who had to slam on the brakes, that may affect the tires a bit. And Homestead's a place where tires are quite important. You want to really sort of massage them, really try to get them to the end of the race. Especially, I don't think we're supposed to have a pit stop here today. So yes, that's something very important tire wear, and I wouldn't want to be one of those drivers that had to brake heavily and sort of maybe flat spot a little bit of the tires.
Oh yeah, Tyler might be a little bit of a factor here tonight. No pit stops for all the ovals and the sprint series as always, but that's exactly what some of these guys in the front wanted, and probably some of the guys in the back part of the field as well. A chance to breathe after that crazy 2-lap opening. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night in the South Florida 150 and then get back to the restart at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Here we go on lap number 2, and this is kind of a 3 colors fitting in one spot, and there's not enough room here in the A1. Forced the 64 up to the 98. Mike Lewis, BP Ruiz, and last week's winner of Andrew Williams. Williams into the outside wall, and that basically has the 64 nowhere to go. Does a half spin. The A1 does a teeny tiny tap, helps the 64 to spin around, and an impressive job from the entire pack to avoid the 64, and a great save really from BP Ruiz. Just slammed on the brakes, let the car basically save itself, and was able to spin back around and should have minimal damage, and have to see if BP Ruiz can go from the back to the front here with limited laps left, but definitely could have been a lot worse. But that is the result of the first caution of the night here at Homestead-Miami. We'll take a look at it full speed and get back to the restart here for race 8 of the season.
And that's it. Just 3 cars getting out of the groove. Well, 2 cars getting out of the groove, the 64 and the 98, and that's basically it. Good wreck avoidance by the 81 and by the 64. Otherwise, yeah, that's way smaller than it could have been. Could have been a big one. That was very chaotic 2 laps. Let's hope they keep it clean after this, because I don't want this to turn into a caution fest. It wouldn't be a good race. But yes, very aggressive at the start. That was obviously going to happen, seeing how they're just throwing it into every corner. Surprised we even went 2 laps there, or whatever, how many laps we went. Yes, it's gonna be the 50 of Chase McClure keeping the race lead. Let's see if he can maybe keep it.
Chase McClure trying to win for Caleb's team in Appalachia Motorsports. We'll see what we can do. Hopefully that's the only caution of the night. Let's get back to the restart here in the South Florida 150. Welcome back to Homestead-Miami Speedway after a chaotic first couple of laps. We will go back going next time by on lap 7 of 25. And it's going to be interesting of what ends up happening on this restart with a single file restart versus a double file start. No drivers are out, and really the 64 who spun doesn't look like BP Ruiz has any significant damage, maybe some tire damage, but gonna keep on going. And bringing us back to the restart will be the number 50 of Chase McClure, 5th in the point standings. Zane Davidson from 9th to 2nd in 2 laps, basically. is in second. Alexander is in third. The 52 of Trey Smith in fourth. Matthew Hall in fifth. The 57 of Nathan Aljaboye is in sixth. Seventh is the 96 of Sammy Camara. The 93 of Kenneth Sandoska is in eighth. Ninth is Corey Case, and then in 10th is the 97 of J.R. Wibbleton. And hopefully, these guys got out of the system early. We've now had a caution in multiple weeks so far as of late. And maybe we can stay green for the last 19-18 laps. But it would be Chase McCulley leading us back to the green with Zane Davidson in second and Alexander Rowe in third. Top two with a great restart here on lap number 7.
Oh, I like this restart. The restart is very important around a track where it seems like it's going to be very chaotic here. Because if the 50 of the Chase McClure had missed his restart, everybody would have needed to go side by side and try to overtake everyone. But now it should be pretty calm. As I said, that they go 3 wide for what is third place. So maybe not. But yeah, hopefully they keep it only 3 wide and we don't get another caution.
The 90 didn't really get a good one off with the turn 4. Zane Davidson looks fast in that 13 machine. Might have picked the white driver here tonight. Looking on the inside, gonna get a one down the back stretch, side by side for the race lead. And for third, and for fifth, and maybe even for seventh back there. These guys going for all the positions. And this is where the outside lane might be able to contend. I mentioned multi-group racing. The inside lane is where you want to be, that, but the outside lane, it can challenge. And 13 left that lap. 3 wide for third. Look at Matthew Hall. Almost contact with Wool and Trey Smith. And Chase McClure still hanging tough on the outside lane here on that number 9.
Yeah, usually there's place for Trey Ryan. If you get that 4 wide at the outside of 2 or 4, that's where it's kind of risky. That's maybe what we're seeing at the back here. Well, they're keeping it 3 wide, but they've been 3 wide since the restart at the back, so they need to be very careful here. I don't think anyone at the front wants to see a car in spin when they're battling for 20th. I mean, that's experience I have in a WoW Cup series. I kind of a few times I get my race screwed up because some guy in 30th decides to spin around and battling for 2 points. That's not what any one of these guys want to see, especially if they're battling for the race lead as a rule. There was somebody that hit the wall pretty hard at the outset there.
I believe that was the one of Faye. Didn't really do a Homestead stripe. That was more a Homestead hit off of turn number 4. And now these guys are really settling in, and Zane Davidson might be wondering, because he has 2 Appalachia Motorsports teammates right behind him, now side by side with a great 1-3 and 4. New race leader Matthew Hall to the point at Homestead-Miami. Davidson and McClure, the top 3 single file. Meanwhile, we are going crazy for 4th on back, a absolute hornet's nest behind these guys. You got the 56 of Howard Anderson Jr. up in the midst. Corey Case almost tapped the outside wall, but things are getting a little bit more calm. And it is good after that crazy start, but these guys are going crazy in the midfield, right inside the top 10.
And if I'm one of these guys of the top 3 there, I would want to stay in a single line, because it's very hard in an equal rating series when you're side by side, or when you just come out of side by side and there's a bit of a gap between you and the rest of the top 3, to come back to that top 3 or top 5 or whatever there's when they're in a single file. It seems like now 4th to 6th has gone single file as well, so they might be able. I mean, they still have a long way to go. Well, long way to go. 11 laps, 12 laps. It's not very long, but at this point, if they decide to stay side by side, they won't have a chance. And for the guys who, for second now, are going side by side with the 50 of Chase McClure and the 13 of Zayden Davidson, that's not what I want to do. And look at that 93 of Garrett Zondonska has just come right back there for the battle for second.
A great one from Garrett Zondonska. Kind of struggled this season. Has made 6 out of the 8 starts, now 7 out of 8. but is 19th in the point standings. Is a Appalachian Motorsports 1-2, as I get tongue twisted there, but might have to watch out for this 93. He is fast here on the long one. Might have to watch out for the 96. The Toyotas are moving up toward the front. Great one from Commando right there. And we got a Toyota in 4th, Toyota in 5th, Toyota in 6th, and I think this is a twin. It does not matter who's in this 37. Abel, of course, was the point leader, and he's been fairly strong, but Oskin is this 37 for Herr Motorsports is once again very fast. So that 37 might be just one of the faster cars this season, as that's close in 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's something when the tire wear starts to affect those guys, that you're going to see them trying to go to the inside and just finding out there's no grip there anymore. The grip that there used to be there in the first couple of laps, but now isn't there. And they're sort of forced to brake, and I think that's what happened to Alexander Rowe there, who was very slow in the middle of the corner. That could have ended very badly, but I mean, that's where you see that some of these guys at least know what they're doing. There you go, they're going for 3 wide for 2nd place, and I don't know if that's what you're going to do. At that point, you're just helping the 90 of Matthew Hall keep that race lead, and with a few laps to go, maybe it's a good idea if you're the 93, but otherwise, if you're the 50, especially if you're the 13, don't try to go side by side. It's just gonna ruin your race. You want to have as much tire, as much grip when you go in that final lap, do that final push for the 90. Maybe close out the gap, because now it's half a second, and with half a second you can't really come close if you're less than 2 laps away. So be careful. But hey, still 5 laps to go. So 6 laps to go. So there's quite a bit of time.
Still plenty of time left. About 6 or 7 laps left. And you mentioned Zane Davison. He's been very strong in the few starts he's done this season, trying to catch up with Matthew Hall in that number 90 machine. Matthew Hall is 18th on the point standings, so that would be great for, of course, Caleb's team and Matthew Hall if they can steal one here tonight. But I don't know if you can even say stealing, because it's staying at about half a second for the top 2. And we'll see what ends up happening. Alexander Rowe, I think he could be a factor for this championship still. He struggled the last couple of weeks, but doing a good job in the number 87.
That 13's making the gap now. Oh my god. Oh, the 90's very slow in the corner. It took very bad at the corner, and look at that. The 18 of Azaborium goes maybe toward the race lead. Oh, doesn't look like it. He's gonna be patient, and I think he knows what he's doing, because you don't want to be last when you're coming to the final lap here, especially if there's somebody behind you. Usually you end up not winning this race. You can easily get a draft and go side by side and take the race lead at the final lap when you're giving it everything. Oh, that 90 goes very wide. Oof.
I think that car might have fell off a little bit. It's a short race, but it's long enough for tires to take a effect here. And Zane Davison is closing it in like a hawk on Matthew Hall. And we could have a 4 or 5 car battle. Howling and some dreams making it 3 right back here. Meanwhile, here comes Garrett Sandoska to the inside of the 13. He's not really going to get there, the 13. Davison's going to get a great 1 through 3 and 4. And just fantastic stuff all night long of racing all over this racetrack. But 3 laps to go, and it is going to come down to Hall, Davison, and maybe this 93 of Sandoska as well.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you see here at Homestead. At the beginning, it's very multi-groove, but as the tires wear off and as the marbles comes in, at this point, it's like a groove and a half that really can have at this racetrack. And there you go! For 2nd place, the 93 of Garrett Sandoska takes it!
Oh boy, he's been having a great car on the long one here tonight. But is the 50 going to help his teammate and sacrifice the win for him? It's going to be fairly interesting what ends up happening in 3 and 4. Whoever takes 2nd might have a 1 for the 90. As we've seen that 90 of Hall kind of mess up a little bit. Here we go, 3 wide for 2nd. Side by side, Chase McClure and Sandoska. But out front, it is the number 90 of Matthew Hall, who's been dominating this race in the second part of this 25 lap sprint. The 50 is trying to make a 1-2 finish for Caleb's team. Ripped it Alexander will come from. He's going to make it 3 right for second off turn number 2. But it's all clear behind him. These guys are racing really out for second, but the 3 and 4 for the final time. We had 1 caution and 1 caution only. And Matthew Hall in the number 90 machine is going to win the South Florida 150 in crazy fashion. What a sprint at Homestead-Miami Speedway.
What a dominating performance from Matthew Hall. And honestly, that's great team play also by the 50. Yeah, McClure just going side by side with 1 lap, well, coming to the one lap to go to the white flag, going side by side with the 93, who could have had a chance, but it almost ruined a couple of points for the 50. Ultimately didn't though, and that's the good thing. Yeah, team player, that's what you want to see here.
And a 1-3 finish for Caleb's team, a great one right there, a great one from 93 to 87. And how about the 64? I know he didn't get top 10, but from spinning to 12th for BB Ruiz. Great comeback for him. And what a race that was. Matthew Hall gets the win, Zendoska in second, McClure, Woe, Davidson, Hallie Anson Jr., Oskin, Kamala, Aljaboye, and Trey Smith went from blowing up last week to gain a top 10 finish here tonight at Homestead. And then Matt Black in the 11th, BB Ruiz in 12th after spinning to get inside the top half of the field. Carson Miller stands even making his first start on the channel, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but in 14th place 1. Littleton, Sanders, Scholes, Lewis, Case with a struggling one after starting on the pole. Neely in 20th. Mullish kind of fell back and didn't really see the 39 all night. Same for Anna Williams. Fell back from the front row. And Nathan Fan, I think, smacked the wall, and car was not really the same after that. And then unfortunately, Kyle Craven, I know him a little bit from my series, but unfortunately finished dead last here tonight. What a race here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Matthew Hall with the win. And what's the final thoughts here at Homestead-Miami Speedway?
Well, that's as crazy as I thought it was going to be. I will say, maybe these guys would need to learn a bit about tire management, because that 93 definitely knew about tire management. Was able to slowly but surely come all the way back from the second part of the top 10 up to second. Could have been first if it wasn't for that 50. So yes, I think seeing how bad they were, how bad the tires were, especially at the end of the race, they probably should spend a bit of time learning about that. And hey, maybe later in the season could be a useful skill for them to have. But yes, I mean, that's a dominating performance from 90. It's impressive. Otherwise, it's. I think everyone kind of knew their role coming to the, let's say, 5 laps to go, and was able to execute it pretty well. That's why we didn't really see a lot of crazy overtakes before 2 laps to go. I wasn't sure about that 3 wide at the final lap here. But yes, ultimately, it's everyone's is basically within 5 seconds, except for the last driver there, Kyle Craven. So that was a very close race, and if the driver at the front dominated, but behind everyone was kind of really close and battling out throughout. So that was good racing. That was fun.
Homestead-Miami always puts on bangers, and even though Matthew Hall kind of dominated in the second part, boy, it was a 3-4 5-way battle for that second spot, and ended up going to Zendoska. Great one for him. And it's going to be interesting on who the point leader will be. I believe it's going to be Ali Anson Jr., because Mullish and Corey Case ran back of the packet. And it might be Trace McClure as well. I think it's either going to be Anson Jr. or McClure, because Williams also finished towards the back part of the field. But you guys will see the points at the end of the video. Science will come up here very shortly at, I believe, Martinsville for race number 9 of the season. A little bit of short track racing over there. Thanks for joining me here tonight. Good luck in the Wawa Cup Series race here later on in the week. And congratulations to Matthew All on getting the race win in the South Florida 150. Next week, we will see you guys at Martinsville Speedway.